Are your goals too big or not big enough? Hello. So I'm going to talk about tips for taking. Hello, Dale Majors here for another episode of Venture Anyway. Thank you for joining us. If you feel that you're more capable than your current results may suggest, then you're going to want to subscribe, click the bell so you get a daily dose of new content that's going to help kickstart you into action. So let's get started. Are your goals too big or are they not big enough? And I would first just say, if you're going to ditch out right now, your goals are not big enough, okay? And we're going to talk about three things that are going to help you kind of right size your goals. So first, you're going to do the work anyway, so why not set big goals? I rode up a canyon here in Salt Lake, Big Cottonwood Canyon, a few years ago, and it was near the end. I was starting to get tired. It was hard. I was waiting for the top. It was a whole, 80%. When I was 80% in, I was about ready to be done, and then I got to the top and I rode back down. Great, good bike ride. Mirror that with the experience of riding up that canyon and 5 other canyons with my uncle in an all-day bike ride that was over 100 miles. I didn't even notice that canyon. We just went up and down because I had so many other things to do afterwards. I didn't even start to get discouraged or tired till like the 4th canyon. So when you set goals, if you set your number too small, even that goal is going to kind of be hard. So why not set a big goal? Okay, that's what the stretch goal. So that's it. Are your goals too big or are they not big enough? And I would say that they're typically not big enough. Great. Point number 2, you've heard the term shoot for the stars and reach the moon. This is another bike ride where I was actually on a bike tour in France. This was like 8 years ago we were in Germany actually, and we were going to be home 3 days later, and I had to be to a trade show in Las Vegas 3 days after that. So we had 3 days to get to Vegas, and I text my little brother and say, Carl, do you want to go ride our bikes to Vegas together? We'll take the tandem, because he was a strong rider and I was going to kind of hitch a ride with him, okay? So, and I thought it would be amazing to hang out with him. He, of course, said, Dale, let's do it. This will be awesome. We embark on our journey at 3 o'clock in the morning. We had some flat tires and it was hard, and actually at about the 200-mile marker, my knee started to go out. I switched knees, kind of took a rest on one. That was bad. My brother ended up pulling me the last 20 miles. So we didn't make it to Vegas, but we did ride 220 miles in one day, okay? All the way from Salt Lake to Milford, Utah, from Farmington to Milford, Utah, okay? The point there is I rode further than I ever had in my life because I was shooting for the stars. We only hit the moon. We didn't make it all the way, right? We kind of had to admit defeat, and it was an amazing experience and fun story, and we're glad we tried, but the goal was just a bit too big for my fitness level. I'm sure my younger brother could have done it. But there's benefit in shooting for the stars even if you'll reach the moon, okay? We still stretched and had an amazing experience. We took action. We made it happen, even though we failed. But it was awesome, okay? So point 3, in order to have the desire to reach your goal, and part of the SMART goals that we went over in the last video talks about your goal being relevant. If it's not really relevant if you don't believe it, if it's not believable. So is your goal believable? If I said to my brother, hey dude, do you want to go ride to California in 2 days? And he'd be like, it's 750 miles. And while it would be fun to try, we've never ridden 350 miles in a day. And we've especially never ridden 350 miles after having ridden 350 miles the day before. That's kind of crazy. So we may not believe that, or maybe he would have, but I wouldn't have. Maybe he wouldn't have believed 1,200 miles in 2 days, okay? So the goal needs to be believable. If it's not some sort of believable, then it's hard. But there's a catch. They usually say that really smart people sometimes achieve less success because they've thought through everything and they decide that it won't work. Or if you get a good little pinch of ignorance and optimism, then you will try something anyway and maybe surprise yourself, which I have done plenty of times, so I can vouch for that. right? So if you can be creative, then maybe some of these unbelievable goals can be believable. And that's where adding some optimism and just some faith in something working out a certain way can definitely help, right? So those are the 3 tips to kind of right size your goals. They're usually too small, make them bigger, right? And in our other videos, we talk about SMART goals, and we talk about the HATS methodology to create, goals that are achievable. If you enjoyed this video, remember to give it a thumbs up, right? Subscribe, click the bell. Every weekday, I'm putting new videos out that are gonna inspire you, that are gonna help you take action and really turn into that person that you wanna become, right? Thank you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate the chance that I have to be here on YouTube, and we will see you next time.